Today, we're going to change it up and take a look at the best case scenario for the Democrats in the upcoming governor's election. We'll do the Republicans soon, but today it's the Dems. I last did this a couple of months ago, and we've still just barely gotten into the primaries. So, not too many changes here. There's still way too many unknowns with the candidates. But yeah, the national environment is already looking like it's going to be blue. This is going to take it up to a big blue wave. So, I want to go through this quick. I don't want to spend all day on each state. First, we'll do the safe states, and these should be a 10 or more point margin, even in a big blue wave. And for the Dems, they're already going to get the states you'd expect. That's going to include a lot of open seats from coast to coast. I don't think there's much to say about any of them. Pennsylvania and this goes up to safe. Shapiro might even get it by 10 on a regular night. But the one state I'm going to point out on here is Vermont. This is dependent on if Phil Scott retires. If he does, then Dems stand a great chance at flipping this seat. His lieutenant governor could run, but this one is going to go safe in this scenario. Now the safe states for the Republicans. So it's always possible an independent or third-party candidate gets in and complicates things. But for the time being, it's still going to be safe in Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota. Nebraska is borderline but safe. Oklahoma, Arkansas, and the last state is Tennessee. So the Dems unlikely to really be able to touch ththose states even on a great night. Next, we'll do the likely states. These are between a 5 and a 10 point margin. For the Dems, I've got 3 of them. First is Arizona. This would be Katie Hobbs probably taking out Andy Biggs instead of Dave Schweikert, and she would get it by mid-single digits. In Wisconsin, it's an open seat, but Dems would hold this one also by at least 5%. Next door in Michigan, it's the same thing. Even in a 3-way race, Dems would get this one likely. Now, the likely states for the Republicans. There's only 2 of them. In the South, we've got Alabama. This is Tommy Tuberville against Doug Jones in an open seat. Jones has a better chance of taking out Tuberville for governor than in the Senate. But even with that said, Jones is going to have an uphill climb. But on a great night, I think he could get it down under 10. The other state here is South Carolina. Definitely a lot of question marks here for the Republicans. But in this scenario, it's going to get down into single digits. Now we'll do the competitive states. Lean are under 5% and Tilt are 1% or less. Let's start with Alaska. This is an open seat here, and the politics are unusual, even though the state does lean red. With all things considered, including ranked choice voting, I'm going to say Dems are able to narrowly flip it, and they're going to get it with a tilt. Next, Nevada. In this scenario, Aaron Ford would take down incumbent Joe Lombardo by a lead rating. Let's jump down to Texas. Here, Greg Abbott is still going to be able to get his 4th term even in a blue wave. It would certainly get competitive in this scenario. Dems not completely far away from it. Maybe later on something changes, but for right now, it's still going to be a lead for the Republicans. Now we'll hop up to Kansas. This is a pretty red state, but they've got a 2-term Democrat for governor. So anything could happen. In this scenario, we'll say somehow they keep it going and it stays narrowly blue one more time. Next, we've got Iowa. Here we're probably looking at Randy Feenstra against Rob Sand in an open seat in a blue wave for governor. Dems do have a shot here. It's not likely, but in this scenario, they're also going to flip it. They're going to get it with a tilt. Next, let's do Ohio. I did see the poll that came out recently that showed Amy Acton taking down Vivek Ramaswamy by 10%. I usually like to think anything could happen, and I could see Dems flipping this, but I don't think they've come close to winning it by 10% outside of extraordinary circumstances. But in this scenario, it would be Acton winning it. We'll see what happens, but for now, it's going to be a tilt. Let's go up to New Hampshire. Kelly Ayotte running for another 2-year term is going to hold on here. She's going to get it with a tilt rating. Then in the Southeast, we've got Georgia. Like a lot of states on here, so many question marks about who the nominees are going to be. Either way, the trends of this state are going to put it in Democrat hands. Maybe it's Keisha Lance Bottoms, maybe it's somebody else, but the Dems are going to get it with a lead rating. The last state here is Florida. This state has gotten super red. Even in the blue wave of 18, Republicans actually made gains here. But even in this scenario, whether it's David Jolly or Jerry Demings, barring a complete collapse of the Republicans, Dems are going to come up short here. It's going to stay lean Republican. So that's the whole map. After this, Dems would come out with 30 seats, Republicans 20. So that is a nice night there for the Dems. But a lot of these states are really close with lean or tilt ratings. It's going to depend on the candidates. It's going to depend on how they run their campaigns. It's going to depend on how the national environment looks and what the key issues are in 5, 6, 7 months. A lot could change. It could get bluer. It could get redder. There's only one way to find out. But for right now, this is how I think the best case scenario map would look for the Dems. So let me know in the comments. What do you think about this scenario? Would the Dems have all these flips? Would they get close in Texas? What do you think is going on there in Ohio? How much do the individual candidates matter? And what do you think is going to change between now and Election Day? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.